Now let's see if we can read quickly through Job 22, 23, and 28. If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacles. Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust. My God. And the gold of Ophir as stones of the brooks. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty. Thou shalt have plenty of silver. Bless the person sitting next to you and say to him, thou shalt have plenty. Point at me up here and lay that blessing on me. Say, thou shalt have plenty. Plenty more, huh? Thank you. Thank you. Thou shalt have plenty of silver. For then shalt thou have thy delight in the Almighty, and shall lift up thy face unto God. What does that mean? You must know that God is your source. Nothing in the world below is my source. Say that. Spirit is my source. God in me is my source. Thou shalt make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows. Oh God, Reverend Ike, there you go again. We've got to pay. Jacob vowed that vow. He said, all that you give to me, I'll surely give you a tenth. Oh yeah, there's some paying. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you some study. It's going to cost you some mind. It's going to cost you to buy some tapes and some books. It's going to cost you to come out in the rain sometimes. It may cost you some friends who can't take you when you get to be too prosperous. And I can tell you, as you progress along the way, people will fall off from you. I remember when I got my first car that a man paid me tithes with. I tell you about it every once in a while, that little $75 no-color Chevrolet that was an Army surplus car, one of the best cars I ever had. It ran even without changing oil. I sold it to somebody else, and they sold it to somebody else, and the last I heard, it was still running. But there were people who were supporting me at that level. As long as I had that car, that boy, they were supporting me. You know, some people like to support poor preachers. Some people can't stand a rich preacher. But I read something that Reverend Ike wrote this morning, and please, this is good. This is good for you to know. Whoever you support with your money, you partake of their spirit. You enter into their spirit. Uh-oh. Hang around people always talking poverty. You will enter into the spirit of poverty. Well, anyway, some people supported me at that level. And then when I came out with this long Cadillac with the rocket tail lights, you know, in 1959, a Cadillac with those rocket tail lights and so on, some of them were just like they said about Jesus in the Bible. They walked with him no more. Too rich for our blood now. Well, anyway, let's finish this text. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. Say so, say it, and enter into the spirit of it. Now let's do some esoteric commentary, particularly on Proverbs 28:19. And the first thing that I'd like to do is read with you the transliteration of Proverbs 28:19. The King James Version says, "He that tills his land shall have plenty of bread." Here is my transliteration of Proverbs 28:19, and shout it back at me. He who cultivates his mind, develops the infinite potential of his mind, prepares his mind, and who consciously chooses and deposits only prosperous ideas in his mind will have a bountiful harvest of prosperity. He who cultivates his mind develops the infinite potential of his mind, prepares his mind, and who consciously chooses and deposits only prosperous ideas in his mind will have a bountiful harvest of prosperity. Now let's analyze some of these words esoterically in the text. The word till is used. And till is an agricultural term which means to cultivate, to prepare, to develop the potential of the land to reproduce and bring forth harvest after the nature of the seed. Let's go to land for a moment. He who what? Tills his land. Well, all right, what is the land? Here, land indicates the mind, Mother Earth, the receiver that brings forth the seed ideas as fruit. That was a very beautiful and perceptive spiritual meditation that Reverend Ike the Son gave us today, wasn't it? About the mother aspect of God. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. So, because you see, mother is one of the aspects of God. And of course, I understand that, having been born a black Baptist in the South, we used to sing, "He's my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, he's everything to me." So mother is one of the aspects of God. It is the conceiving aspect of God from which we receive the good that we desire when we plant and cultivate the seed. So, the land is the mind. And to till the land means to cultivate the mind. Now, I want to go into the word prepare. My scribes sometimes mess with my words because they don't understand what I mean. The intellectuals, they get a hold of this between me and you. Somewhere on here, I had hyphenated the word prepare. I had separated the prefix from the suffix. Prepare. Say it like that with me. Prepare. Say it again. Prepare. All right. Turn over on the back for a moment. I think it's over here somewhere where I analyze prepare, yes. The infinite potential of the mind must be cultivated, or a man will suffer want, lack, and limitation. The mind must be what? Prepared. What does this mean? Conditioned before. Say conditioned before. Conditioned before. Say it again. Conditioned before. Say it again. Conditioned before. Conditioned when? Before. Before it can receive the seed, which is prosperous idea, and produce prosperity. Even the best of seed, good, prosperous idea, cannot be received and be productive in unprepared, uncultivated land or unprepared mentality. So this is what we do when we come to classes and to services like this. It is to what? To cultivate and to what? Prepare. To what? Condition before. I'll show you exactly what I mean. In the very first part of this lesson, I gave you some ideas about having a gimmick, about having nerve, that you don't need everybody. I gave you some ideas that are worth billions of dollars because they are making billions of dollars for people. Unless your mind has been, first of all, what? Prepared. You are not going to do anything with that seed. I remember a young lady who used to be around here. Was her name Keel? Some of you will remember when I tell you this. Dolores Keel. I wish somebody would catch up with her. I guess she's gone and got so much money. I hope she hasn't forgotten me. You tell her I want to see her personally. So anyway, I remember one Saturday I read in the New York Times where the racetracks were offering contracts to people for horse manure. We call it something different in the barnyard. Tell the city people when you get outside. Don't you dare tell them that in here. But in that august publication, the New York Times, they told about how the racetracks were offering, as a matter of fact, it was an ad from the racetrack, offering to people contracts on the horse manure. You can make money out of anything if your mind is what? Prepared. If you are open and receptive to ideas. Seed. I came back and stood on the stage that next day, and some of you laughed at me like you do. I don't mind you laughing. We have a lot of fun here. But while you're laughing with me, bless God, do something with the ideas. And I told about those contracts that were being offered for horse manure by the racetracks. And so Dolores, the next day, she was sitting at a typewriter in her office, and she was saying, and I told you that day to pray and ask God to give you some money-making ideas, some prospering ideas. And so the next day, she's sitting in her office at her typewriter, and she was praying. She says, oh, God, open my mind to some prospering ideas. She overheard her boss talking to somebody else in the office. It's a company where they make Christmas decorations and so on. And they needed some pine cones, and they were frustrated. Where in the world are we going to get some more pine cones? Where are we going to find enough pine cones to make these decorations? All of a sudden, the Holy Spirit struck Dolores' mind and reminded her that she was from the woods in South Carolina, and that out there under those pine trees were nothing but thousands and thousands and thousands of pine cones that are yours just for the taking. She jumped up from her desk and ran and said, excuse me. Said, but did you say you need pine cones? Yes, we don't know where. Have I got pine cones for you? She got a contract for $40,000. Airfare and expense account. Go and get us $40,000 worth of pine cones. Isn't that wonderful? He that tills his land shall have what? Plenty. Her mind was open and receptive. And this is the way there are going to be some beautiful demonstrations out of this message today. I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed. The angels in the